looks like.
The pictures tell the story. This life had many shades. I'd wake up every morning and before I'd start each day, I'd take a drag from last night's cigarette that smoldered in its tray. Down a little something and then be on my way.
Oh Lord! Somebody had some feedback going in just then.
Someone had two screens going. Is what what happened.
Yes.
Somebody had it up on an extra screen.
I know. I was like, "Oh my God, that is so much feedback." Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. And then anybody else that experienced that, I do apologize. It was probably the BBC's fault since I've seen him dancing around, or maybe. Well, I know who it wasn't. It was not me. So that leaves the two other people here. But anyway, and I still think it was the BBC because I muted him in the middle of that. But anyway, guys, welcome to the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. It's Shark Week. So before we get going and all that, make sure that if you like what you see, subscribe, smash the like button. I don't know, make a comment, talk about David Papayan.
Yeah, comment. We enjoy the comments.
And of course, follow us, subscribe. What's the other one? Smash the like button.
Share. Hit the little, share it. And then hit the little bell so you get the notifications when we go live.
Oh, yeah, the little ding, ding, ding. I never do that to anybody. No one am I on their notifications. No one. I follow a lot of people, and I get no notification. Why do I want that problem in my life? Why would I ever want that?
You know, you're talking other people out of doing it, right? Right, like right now.
I'm just telling you. I want to be transparent with our consumers, our population, our 3 people. 2 of them are my mom. Anyway, listen. So it's Shark Week. And so I had posed the question, first off, Shark Week, ginormous issue with me. If I didn't learn mathematics and all this other stuff, I dreamed of, that was the job I wanted to do, is to be a marine biologist studying sharks, specifically the hammerhead shark. I think that is just a beautiful freaking beast. And that I just love that stuff. So every year, Shark Week is a big deal, very big deal here at Casa de La Mons. All right. So what I would tell you is that, so I posted out there, I was like, hey guys, I did it on the Nashville Bourbon page. And if you're not following the Nashville Bourbon Barrel, please do hit like on that, request a follow. If you don't know anybody, put Jody in there, or Mark, or Gino, or David, any of us that might be on it. But that is a great local page in Tennessee. And if you're not on it, it's just great. It's ran by one of our characters that come on here every now and then. That's Jay Cooper. Anyway, so I had posed the question there, and of course on our page, and I was like, so it's Shark Week. What's everybody drinking? Is there a drink that everybody would like to have? So of course the common things came up like, hey, dumbass, have you thought about oceans? I'm like, of course I thought about Jefferson's Oceans. All right. All right. So, I mean, that's obvious. And then of course, Jay was like, I think you ought to do Buffalo Trace's, what's that called? White Dog. And just call it the Big White Shark. And I'm like,
Jay doesn't sound anything like that, but go ahead.
Yeah, he doesn't. But that's the way I read it. All right. So anyway, I'm looking at it. I'm like going, I'm not drinking freaking clear 100 proof freaking bourbon, not bourbon, that's just fire in your mouth, you know, and I'm just going to hammer it down. No, that don't even sound fun at all. I want to watch sharks.
White corn whiskey, is that?
Yeah, that's all it is. But I think it's 100 proof if I remember correctly. But there's like no taste to it, so you're just drinking. I don't know, just drinking. Yeah, just drinking to drink, I guess. Anyway, so I decided what Shark Week is on Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel has always been the main station for it, main channel. So I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have, since I'm a fanboy of Bardstown, I'm gonna have some Bardstown Discovery series. Mm-hmm. And of course, I had a surf and turf night. We had some lobster and some steak. Twice baked potatoes. It was good times. It was good times. Felt like a fat kid in all you can eat buffet. Hey guys, so do you guys have any Shark Week things. Do you even like Shark Week, or do you even care about that? And I mean, I know over in England, they may not even know what a shark is. It's the thing with the little fin on top, you know.
We know what a shark is, dude. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show there, Mal.
Thank you very much, Jody. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me know when you're finished with your text there so we can talk.
I'm lighting my stogie, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Carry on. No.
got you on that one.
We can talk.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you all, guys. Good
What
to
are you
see you
drinking?
all.
You're on holiday right now, right?
I have got, I'm on a 6-week holiday from work, but it's only 5 week because I
That doesn't make any
volunteered.
sense. You realize how math works, right? When you say 6, that means 6, not 5.
So it is a 6-week holiday, an academic 6-week academic holiday. So summer holidays is 6 weeks. My holidays personally are 5 weeks because I have volunteered to do the last week of my holiday as summer school, which is the introduction of year 6 into year 7 into my school from primary school. We are doing sort of 4 days of fun activities to introduce the new guys, or a small portion of the new guys into the school.
Nice.
So it is a 6-week holiday, but I'm only personally getting 5 weeks because I've volunteered to do this summer school in the last week of the holidays.
Well, there you go. I
Nice.
should have waited for the explanation.
You should have done, shouldn't you? Yeah.
I should have. So, what about
What's
anybody
that?
else? Who else does Shark Week, and what do you drink? Do you have a drink for it, or do you even care? You just drink just to drink.
So I'll jump in. I'll tell you what, I used to care about, well, let me not say care. I used to be more familiar with Shark Week because I have some friends that actually work at Discovery in just outside of DC.
Really?
So I was always really, really plugged into Shark Week until I got here. So I have no clue what it is. If you didn't tell me in the last 2 years, I wouldn't know. But
That's funny.
I'm going to
But
drink.
hey, the good thing is I've been telling you.
Yes. So I'm going to drink. I'm going to drink.
Double fisting right there.
Yeah, hey, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sipping. This is Tom's Town. It's local, double oak, air quotes, double from Kansas City. Interesting. Read my mini review. It's not Chuck the Godfather's review, but read my mini review. And then for my baby Brooklyn, it's her birthday, so I'm going to sip some Remus.
Happy
Nice.
birthday to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Happy birthday.
Happy
also-
birthday.
Hey there, back to you, Arena. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Yep.
So Shark Week,
I just did
Muapuna.
whatever that means.
Yes, Hawaiian for grandchild.
Thought you called me your punta. I was like, okay.
Oh,
you're
my.
fine. I only know a few Spanish words, and the ones I know, I can get myself in trouble and or maybe a fight. We're ready. All right, what about you, Gino?
Hey, it's on the TV right now.
Yeah, it's on the TV over there, but I'm trying to pay attention to you guys because
Exactly.
Uh,
It's being recorded. I'll watch it later. It's all good. But yes, I do follow Shark Week, and usually before the Discovery Channel Shark Week comes on, I'll watch that month-long thing on the National Geographic Channel.
Yep, Nat Geo. Yep.
To kind of get tuned up for the Shark Week.
Yeah, I do that, and then also my my YouTube channel looks like I'm I guess my porn show is all sharks.
Shark porn, I love it.
Yeah, I drink nothing special for Shark Week. But I will have a drink or two in the evening as I'm watching it.
Is that an everyday thing? Because I've noticed that I do that.
Yeah, because it's pretty much, Shark Week's on. Yeah, I'm sitting back, I'm relaxing, I'm enjoying the Shark Week. So yes, I'm having a drink.
Drinking blended chum and tuna blood.
I don't even know what that is. What'd
You
you say?
said blended scotch and tuna blood? Is that what you said?
That's not dragon.
Blended chum.
Chum. Okay.
Chum.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I said scotch to Joey. It probably is the same word.
I would just probably taste the same.
All right. So real quick before we get to David,
Sure.
I had posted in the VIP, and if you're not a member of the VIP, hit one of us up. Not me, because I don't really like people, but the rest of you guys, hit somebody up, and we'll put you in the VIP, the chat, and all that stuff. All right. The reason why it's important is because, like I told you, I was a Bardstown fanboy. All right. So I came across this, and this is the collaborative series. All right. Now, if you go up to Bardstown, or if you go to one of their chef things where they pair it with food, that's the one they use. All right. And I just happened to be walking through Costco's and came across that. And I was like, whoa, what is this? I haven't had this before. So I mean, there was no matter what, I was going to buy it. But after I bought it, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Google search what this is. And so I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm like, okay, so that's a 10-year whiskey that's then aged, 10-year Tennessee whiskey that's then aged 22 months in plantation rum barrels. But they have to be rum barrels that go through all of the, like the Dominican Republic, through some places in South Central in Latin America, right? And Puerto Rico and so on and so on.
Go on.
That's one of those pumpkin barrel aged, yeah.
It's been aged with some freaking spent Glock rounds, but anyway.
How long was it aged? Oh, about 50. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was it's aged for 22 months in that, and of course they partnered, where the collaboration comes with, partnered with Plantation to do it. Now I'll tell you what my first takeaway was: warm butter, vanilla caramel, and then that wintertime Christmas cinnamon stick.
Oh.
Okay.
Finish.
Christmas
And I was like, wow, this is good. I think it's a 1.0. I have my glasses on, so you would think I could see it. Yeah, it's a 104. It's a 104 proof. So it's a little higher than what they normally do, except for their discoveries.
22 months is a long time to be aged in a barrel. It's usually about 6 to 8 months, isn't it?
Well, for finishing, yes, I'd agree with you. They but it's 10-year Tennessee whiskey. And of course, they don't tell you who they partner with, or they didn't tell me on the website. That's what I should say.
Of course.
I can assure you that it's most likely not Jack Daniels.
Because not only would you not be drinking it,
I would stop drinking Bardstown. I'd be like, you guys are just a bunch of assholes.
No, that's fine. I just thought when you said 22 months aged in the rum barrel, I thought that I'm not aware of anything that's been aged for that long in a barrel. It's usually, like I say, 6 to 8 months, 12 max. So that's unusual, but I would love to taste that shit.
I wish I could get you some, because I had never come across it, but I've read about it before. I had read it was because I'm going next year to this thing up in Louisville for a bourbon festivity, and I forget what it's called. I told you guys about it, but got it for Father's Day, and it's you're there for dinner and tasting and all that, and Bardstown's one of the vendors that's going to be there. And I had read about it. That's what they typically pair with their meals. The chef loves this specific one to pair with his meals. And I was like, this is solid. I'm down with that. But I had never seen it anywhere. And then I just happened to be walking through Costco's, and I was like, I'll just go in there and see what they have, because you can usually get Costco's at least MSRP each and every time, or at least I can. I don't know how it is where you guys are, but so that's the reason why. And lo and behold, I ended up with it, and it's fantastic, freaking-tastic. So, David, what about you? Do you watch Shark Week?
Let me start with this actually first, because I'll get to it. Well, I'll say the bit about Shark Week. I used to watch Shark Week like all the time when it came around, like on Discovery Channel. I don't really have Discovery Channel anymore, but I guess I could watch it on Nat Geo or whatever. Like, I like the shark shows. It's just been a while since I've seen them. But our whole conversation earlier got me thinking about whiskey, basically that's been aged or finished in rum casks or rum barrels, and like. I got super bummed like really quickly, because I don't have anything that's this rum cask finished right now, and it bummed me out. It's like, well shit, at least I want to drink some rum. But as I was reading from what I'm drinking tonight, this is called Rolling Fork. I actually kind of went backwards with this. This is actually rum that's aged in ex-bourbon barrels. This is a 6-year-old rum from the Dominican Republic, and it spent 4 of those years in whiskey barrels, or ex-bourbon barrels. And I didn't care for this the first time I opened it. But it's definitely grown on me. Maybe letting it, air out a little bit, or age, or just coming back with different expectations.
It's not going to age in the bottle.
It's not going to age in the bottle. I know that. Unlike my Colonel Taylor, which aged beautifully in the bottle.
You've let it breathe, man.
I let it breathe a little bit. Maybe there's some factor there, but I've also adjusted my expectations when drinking it, because it's a little bit hot, it's a little bit peppery, and you get cinnamon like right on the front, and it kind of builds in the back of your throat after a while, and it's more of a bourbon taste, honestly, than a rum taste in that sense. But like all of like the middle palate to the finish is rum from there. And as I just sat here tonight and just sipping on, I was like, wow, this is friggin' way better than I remember it being. So I'm quite impressed with it right now, I got to say. So yeah, but just in general, like any whiskey that's going to be finished in a rum, automatically you have my attention, because like some of my favorite stuff are finished in the rum barrels. So that's me.
Well, after you get yourself, how do we put this? Emasculated. I'll let you come over and have a sober.
I'm getting a vasectomy next Friday. That's what he's talking about. So
Jesus, well, they off the hook now. Woo.
I don't. You know what? It's the procedure is going to cost me $50. Kids are a lot more expensive. So
yes, they are.
Expensive pets.
You can make it rain. You can make it rain after that.
Hell yeah.
And the thing about it, I had one many years ago after we had our third
I thought
child.
You were getting up to show us. I was like, please don't do that.
No.
It did look that way.
You know,
It looked like he was leaning forward to go.
Let me make the incision, guys. Just let me turn this around.
It doesn't go wide angle, so it's all good. But no,
Say that for my OnlyFans.
You're just shooting blanks, man. Everything else works just fine. It's just no kids coming out anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm ready for it. And doctor asked me one question: "Are you sure?" I'm like, "I am 100% sure." He's like, "Cool, we're gonna schedule it for this day. I'll see you then." I'm like, I was almost like, "Can't we just do it now?" But he's like, "No, I'm gonna give you some Valium and stuff first. You're gonna be good."
Have you done it yet?
Hey, real quick, the way this works is we don't all talk at the same time.
Oh gosh!
Oh, come on.
The way this works is Jody's not satisfied unless he's like giving somebody a hard time.
Well, that part's true. I mean, that's part of my character.
But yeah, I failed to mention, what I was having tonight was the Breckenridge Rum Finished.
Very nice.
And this is actually very delicious. I mean, I get a little bit of butterscotch notes on it. It's almost to the point of being sweet with the butterscotch kind of toffee end of it. And like very delicious. And
how long is it?
Tried it a few. What's that?
How old is that?
It doesn't say. It's batch number 9. There is no age statement on it, so but it does not taste young at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
we had
no
Jack
idea how
Frost
long
on
they
here.
finished
He could
it.
tell us.
Yeah, I have no idea how long they finished in the rum cask, but it was surprisingly delicious. I didn't think it would be as good as what it is, so I've picked up multiple bottles of it.
Nice.
Just
it's funny you bring that up. The only version of Redemption that I like is the one that's finished in rum cast. That one's pretty good. The rest of them I find to be honest with you, they just taste really young. Even their 4-year bourbon, 6-year bourbon just still tastes really young to me.
My guess is that the rum finished masks a lot of the youngness.
Oh, I'm sure it does. It adds
the batch.
That
It smooths it over.
It could very well, because there is no age statement on here.
Now, how long did you say it was in the rum barrels? Does it say that?
No, sir. Nope.
So apparently Mal doesn't like Buffalo Trace.
It's not rum finished. That's why I'm saying I've got nothing.
There you have it. All right. So anyhow.
So Mal doesn't have any rum, but he likes sharks. He knows what they are. They've seen them up there in England.
I'm I've got rum, but I've got nothing rum.
Oh, okay.
Rum finished.
And he lives on an island and can't swim.
The one. Yeah, you remember that? Okay, fair enough. It's a big fucking island, dude. I'm just saying that. It's what I said at the time. But yeah, I mean, I like personally. If Billy was on, he would back me up. The Balvenie 14-year-old Caribbean craft is my favorite.
It is amazing.
Rum finished whiskey, if you like. I love that stuff. I don't have a bottle, which I'm devastated about. I usually do.
Well, Mal, when you get here, we'll open it.
When
you get here, we'll open it. I have one. I just haven't opened it.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm on my fucking way.
Are you guys in lockdown again there?
No.
Oh, I'm just curious. I mean,
no, at all.
What are you paying for gas?
Too fucking much.
Okay, cool.
Jody has a solution for that, actually.
Yeah, I do. You know, in Kuwait, they're not even paying $1. So anyway, moving on.
Probably not. Yeah, moving on.
I do have a solution for that, but I got told I don't know anything about economics. I was like, okay.
Is that your degree behind you, by the way? On the
we all know
your school.
Oh, we all know that you know some shit about fucking economics.
Doctorate.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we all know that you know shit about economics.
And I got called a socialist. Not that that's either here or there. I mean, it's like David.
Nobody who's not in our little group doesn't know what we're talking about. So anyone who's watching this live, Jody had a solution he wanted to propose for the problem with gas prices in the U.S.
Well, it would also help with the recession and inflation and stuff of that nature. But go ahead. I'm sorry. That means still.
No, that's good. Yeah, I was actually trying to say something positive about you. So you got in the way. No, so he had a solution he wanted to propose, and then basically everyone from both sides of the political spectrum decided to hate on him for it in different directions, and was told that he needed an education in economics, where he's, if you guys are watching live, his diploma, his PhD is behind him for economics. So I just found that delightful. But anyway, we should get back to the show.
Yeah, please.
But that is funny, though.
It is funny as hell.
It happens. It happens. I mean,
I was going to make a facetious comment about Jody himself, but it's fine. It was going to be funny, but it's fine. Go on.
All right. So this one right here, though, that's SEER School. Survival, Evasion, Resistance, Escape School. I was war criminal number 72.
Number 72.
Yeah. Good times.
Nice. Fun
Loved
stuff.
it. Only school in the military that you're not allowed to quit from, take a drop on request, and you can't take it. Like, if you break your leg, they're like, well, let's check it out first. And they don't speak English to you. So they'll check it out. And if it's something they can put a splint on and you can finish up training, that's what you're going to do. You don't get a training timeout or anything. And they physically beat you and smoke you out, waterboard you. It's good. It is really good times.
No pink timeout card.
That sounds really exciting. That's
so I can set you up with a story on that, because there is actually this one
paradise, isn't it? Yeah.
So there's this one good. I can tell you guys one really good story on there. So there's So when you go in to see the interrogators, and you can hear they're beating everybody else and all that, and it's 3 at a time that go into 3 different groups, and there's this black box that's like maybe 3 by 3 by 2 feet deep. All right, and it's open, and they're like, take your bootings off, which are your shoes. So you take your shoes off, and I'm thinking, fuck, I just put them in the box. I mean, there ain't no way that anybody's getting in the box. That's obviously where that goes, Of course, I got the shit kicked out of me, because that was where people go, i.e. me. Yeah. They put you in the box, and they lock the box down, and then you're in there for like some assorted amount of time. You're all like, it's a tiny little box, and you can hear everybody being beat. You can smell the smokes from where they're smoking people out and stuff, and you can smell it all coming in and choking, and the hell hadn't even began. This is like the warm up. Like, you're in the bullpen here. So yeah, so that's a funny story about that. But anyway, yeah, seriously, good times.
But at least you had your shoes.
No, you don't get to wear them in there. You had to take them off.
I thought you'd put them in the box.
I did, and then I got my ass beat, and they threw my shoes out of the box.
Oh, right, okay. I
threw
thought
me
they threw you in the box with your shoes. I was like, at least you had your shoes. You know? But, yeah.
You know what's funny is the very first thing they do after they strip you down and they have these I didn't get caught. I made it to the safe house, but after they strip you down, or first of all, I'm sorry, after they come and accost you and then throw you in the back of a deuce and a half and then drive you with a hood over your head all the way down to the camp, they then after they literally grab a hold of the back of your flight suit or whatever you're wearing, and they drag you towards the end of the deuce and a half, and then they throw you onto the ground. All right. And then they strip you down naked, and it's women. So it's like men and women all standing there, and they're all supposed to be from a different force. And you're stripped down naked with your hood on, and they just make fun of you, make fun of your penis or how awful you smell. And if it's a woman, that you might have some saggy boobs or something like that. They're just going to make fun of everything. That's what they do. All right. Mm-hmm. And then they make you scuttle, or shuffle, I should say, over to this building with your pants down. All right. So I mean, with you're naked, you got your boots on. And then as you put your gear back on, they take your shoelaces away from you so you can't run away. And you never have shoelaces again. So until you get ready to leave. It's good time. Freaking great times. I wish everybody on earth, or everybody I wish everybody under the age of 30 could go and experience that, not for a day, but for a week or two. Like, just get just so they can understand one.
This whole country already needs therapy. Like,
I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Hey, look, I don't want that much competition at the liquor store. Honestly, like, give somebody a drinking problem. That sounds like a fast track.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems at the liquor store. It's funny because one of my friends, I told you that they asked me.
Because we haven't got any fucking shoelaces. That's why.
It's true. It was on that day I moved to Velcro and never went back.
Sounds like a euphemism. Probably is.
Slip-ons. You got the slip-ons.
Like old Run DMC.
And then when they had you out,
got them Crocs
yes.
When they put you out, in
my
the fields,
Adidas.
when they had you out in the fields working, they had you you were just in your underwear and boots without shoelaces, and you had to use your hood as like a hat to keep.
Hold on. Out in the field working, no clothes, no shoes.
No, you just had on. I'm sorry, you had on just your underwear. I thought I said that. You had on just your
that's
underwear.
Even worse.
Underwear, shoes.
See, I'm not liking that right now.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't good times. It wasn't. They would randomly come by and kick your ass for no reason.
This sounds like a Friday. This sounds like a Friday to me.
So, what Mark's saying is, when he's describing somebody out in the field in a hood, it sounds a certain way.
Not a hood. Not the hood.
I apologize for the insensitive nature.
Oh, it's no. I'm just
not the hood. It's
real quick. I'll cancel myself.
I couldn't let that one go. It got worse as he described it.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it is he's out in the hood in his underwear.
Yeah. With a hood.
In the hood in his underwear.
I'm agree to that.
All right, was that long enough for my cancellation?
You have to come back with a formal apology.
Yeah.
You've done some healing, some soul searching.
Consider yourself uncancelled, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. BBC, I'm sorry to give you the euphemism of saying, hey, look, describing my personal experience and how tragic it was to me about things your people have experienced, and I apologize.
I'm drinking bourbon.
Where's all the white chicks?
I'm drinking bourbon.
Next time you do an outtake reel, that little scene has to be on it. You're apologizing post cancellation. Mark's just like, I'm drinking bourbon.
What was that line from Blazing Saddles? Where are the white women at?
Where's the white women? Yeah, that's I love that. That's what. First of all, that movie would be. It probably is canceled.
Oh my God, they couldn't make that movie today.
Mel Brooks picks on everybody. Like
That's one of my favorite movies of all time, man. Honestly,
well, it is my favorite movie of all time. There's so many one-liners in there. Like that's why I've already used 2 phrases or 2 statements from that movie in this show. And like earlier, I said when he was getting up, I was like, "Excuse me, wow, whip this thing
Whip
out."
this out. So tell me, Bart.
Now I'm gonna have to go downstairs. My son has never seen it. I'm like,
Oh my God.
how could you be related to me and not
You
ever
call
see it?
yourself a parent.
I know that's what I said. I was like, dude,
I call CPS, man.
Exactly.
Honestly, I may call it. I think it's
I'm still waiting on.
What?
I'm still waiting on a remake of The Jerk.
Oh, the Jerk.
The Jerk is
man.
good. I don't know if they could remake
What a
it.
fucking movie.
No, they couldn't. The Jerk and Airplane could not be made today.
No.
No.
None of those could be made today because they are. I mean, like Airplane. First of all, another movie that. Oh my God! Every stereotype. Like, hey, you speak jive.
They had the subtitles though.
That's the best part. So funny thing. So one day I'm watching the History Channel. I'm sitting there laying in bed and watching the History Channel. And it's about all these crazy religions all over the place. And what's funny is they were in East Tennessee. I live in Tennessee. Me and David live in Tennessee. Actually, it's pretty close to where Gino lives. It's out there in the sticks.
Appalachians.
Yeah. So they were doing the snake.
Oh yeah.
Like religion stuff where they have these poison
Talk about
snakes.
the Pentecostals?
Snakes.
I don't know what it was. I didn't hear part of
rattlesnakes.
Probably.
But either way, they had subtitles. And the funny thing about it was, and they're all speaking English. The funny thing is I'm sitting there listening to it. It's early in the morning, and I'm reading the subtitles. And it was like a natural reaction. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I can understand. But then it caught me like at 45 minutes into. I'm like, holy hell! I've been sitting here reading subtitles the entire time, and they're speaking English. It's not like they're in, England, and I can't understand what the hell he's saying.
You should have called up Mouse if you could explain it to you.
Hey, speaking of which, so I was watching another show on History Channel, and they were talking about the English language and the sounds that we make here in the United States versus the British adopted language. And technically, the closest rendition of accents in the United States to England is actually Southern folks.
I would probably agree with that.
Well, I mean, you'd have to. There was scientists that were figuring this out. I mean, unless you're
American scientists
identifies certain things.
I like how you take a point of agreement and turn it into an argument.
American scientists, so I would probably agree with that. Yeah.
No, our scientists aren't any better. I mean,
that's exactly what I'm saying. So,
that could get real political real fast. So let's move on.
Look at that.
All right, so I'm assigning everyone homework. If you haven't seen this movie, it's the Wonderful Wide World of the West Virginia Whites.
I have seen it. Yes. Holy fuck!
World. I want to see that now.
It's like the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia or some shit. Like there's a bunch of W's in it.
Yes.
Mark, can you message me that now?
You get static.
I got you, brother. I will.
Thank you. All right, please. Just so I don't forget. It's like put that in
the chat, and you can put that in like the actual chat, not the after hours chat. Yeah, the wormhole.
Yeah, that's homework for everyone. But David's reaction says all you need to know.
Yeah, that's an old. It was like an old like HBO documentary or something, or Showtime. One of those type documentaries.
Have you guys
followed some family in West Virginia, like up in the Appalachians, that are like,
oh my god,
they're like,
I have seen that.
True deliverance.
They're talking about
stuff.
the doctor. I mean, not Dr. but the Mountain Dew and stuff and all that. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh wow, that is an old movie. That's like from the early '80s. if I remember correctly.
No.
Have you guys seen?
That's like 90s, I think.
Oh, is it?
2009. It's a documentary,
okay.
an hour and
Okay.
28
Okay,
minutes.
okay, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, have you guys seen The Gods Must Be Crazy?
Yes.
I
No,
haven't
I
seen it in a
didn't see
long
that,
time.
but I
All
haven't.
right. So, I was a freshman. At Chapman University, and I had this English teacher, and he was kind of a hippie, but with short hair, and he would like wear like these he would wear like Birkenstocks before they were cool, and then
They were
now
never
they're not
cool. But go ahead.
Let me finish. And then they're not cool again. And he had these like long dangly earrings that made him look like he was an Indian, and he was more Caucasian than anyone we know. All right. So, and he'd wear these vests that were leather. It had the sheep stuff and all this. And he's like, and so I'm like, oh my God, here we go. This fucking class. And
you're painting a proper picture here, dude.
yeah, so I'm sitting there, and the very first day, first of all, it turned out to be one of the greatest classes I've ever taken in my life. Anybody doesn't know, Chapman University is a Christian school. So I'm sitting there like, what kind of nonsense is this fucking ass jockey doing here? You know, it's just weird, you know? So I'm sitting there, I'm like going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm paying for this. But anyway, so the very first day he goes through this whole, like he's talking all cool and stuff, and he's talking about different things. And this wasn't even, I think this was, I guess it was Comp 1. I don't remember exactly, but he assigns us to watch The Gods Must Be Crazy. And then we had to write a paper about it that was due like in the second or third week.
Mhm.
First of all, so I went down to the local like Blockbusters or something, and I'm like, hey, you guys ever heard of this Gods Must Be Crazy? I'm thinking it's going to be this really cool movie. And first of all, it is a great movie. It is a great movie. I want to make sure we say that because it is. The whole concept behind it is freaking awesome. The Coke bottle falling from the airplane, and the people, the African the natives that were there, and they're picking it up, and they're just sitting there popping and talking to each other about this because it's obviously a gift from the gods and all this stuff. And I don't want to go too much into for the people who hadn't seen it, but it was freaking awesome. And it turned out to be one of my favorite classes. Matter of fact, I did a paper on Jim Morrison in that class. That was his thing. Like he was like, hey, I want you to write some literature, write about your favorite literature, historical literature figure. And you have to be able to prove it. And so I used Jim Morrison. And people would argue still today that he's not literature. And I would argue that he is, because his words, his poetry, music, and everything
he's a writer,
have stood the test of time, which means it equals to literature. So, but I don't want to have a lecture here. So let's just move on.
It's all good. Why haven't you seen Napoleon Dynamite yet?
Why haven't I seen it?
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's that guy that plays him. He looks
The
like
actor.
such a fucking dumbass that I just can't watch that guy. Have you ever seen those characters where you like for example, it'd be like Mao. Like I don't want to watch this show if Mao's on it. I'm just like,
This man stays up till 2 a.m. to be
You know,
insulted by you.
first of all, he knows that is not true, and he also knows that I have nothing but love for him. I was merely just stating that Napoleon Dynamite, that one character, drives me absolutely nuts. Like I can't even to hear his voice. It's kind of like that girl off the Friends episode that Dayton Chandler at one point that has.
Oh my God!
Yes, that girl.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, and I get the reference. It's fine. Fuck you.
Feelings mutual.
Yeah, fuck you. I love you too.
I really do.
That's
Love
funny.
you know that though.
Yeah, genuinely. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Carry on.
There's another movie that you need to watch if you haven't watched it. Talking about stereotypical movies, is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, that shit is hilarious. That was good.
haven't
You
seen-
need to
have you
watch
guys-
that.
Very
That's
campy horror
hilarious.
movie. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the
Horror
Life of Brian?
comedy. Yes, of course.
Seen who?
The
The
Life,
Life,
of Brian.
the Monty Python.
Oh yes,
Oh my
Of course.
God.
all the Pythons.
Actually, any Monty Python, anything is fucking fantastic.
Yes,
Yeah.
Like that again, talking about canceled, that entire thing would be canceled right now.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
much you couldn't do anymore.
What's that?
See, there's so much you couldn't do anymore. Like just
Yeah.
the state of comedy anymore.
Well, I mean, just go back in the last 15 years and look at some of the movies or shows that would be canceled. Seinfeld canceled. Remember when I ain't gay, but it's okay if you're gay. You know, like it's okay to be gay. Remember that when they had that whole thing? That would be canceled now because why are you questioning it being gay? You know, like whatever. Or the puffy shirt. Remember that was a funny one too. But then you could also do.
You know about the pirate shirt one?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Or when he was scratching his nose at the stoplight. That was hilarious. I love Seinfeld.
Soup
What's
Nazi.
that? Soup Nazi. No soup for you.
Soup Nazi, yeah.
But
I got the FedEx Nazi here. That motherfucker.
Well, like Friends,
she got you. You come back 1 year.
Yeah, Friends would be another one to be canceled because remember Chandler's parents were his father was a transsexual.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't watch
I never really watched that much.
It's
I didn't watch it.
First of all, if you want to judge
Viva
me
Las Gay Guys.
Yeah. Yes. And then another one would be. I mean, can you imagine the fucking Jeffersons or Archie Bunker or Good Times or what was the one with Red Fox in it?
Sanford
and Son. Any of those would never make it into prime time today. And first of all,
they were hits.
You know, he died of a heart attack.
Yeah,
he died of a heart attack. Like I bet nobody believed him when it was happening either. He's like, but really, I'm coming, Elizabeth.
First of all, you want to talk about
I'm sorry.
But another person, think about Richard Pryor. I mean, I'm sure we've all seen Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy back in the day. Those guys, like, I mean, first of all, when you think about current times, if you haven't seen the most recent not DVD, but Netflix show of Bill Burr, you need to. That is freaking amazing.
I caught some of it, yeah.
I like Bill Burr.
I think I actually fell asleep.
I did too. He and Dave Chappelle are probably my two favorites. I mean, they're just absolutely hilarious. Yeah. Well, I like them because I mean, first of all, they're both very. They take they help you relax your defensive mode because you're gonna get fucked. All right. It's like going to prison and you're like getting into your cell and there's this, 6'7" black man and he's already standing there naked and you're like, yeah, I might as well go ahead and put my defenses down. It's going to happen. There's
a lot going on there. What I was going to try and say is the comedy that what I like about like Chappelle and Burr's comedy is that like, yeah, he's going to fuck with everybody a little bit, but I don't think there's not like a hateful nature behind it. And it's just comedy and it's like exploring that uncomfortable space.
Who is this?
I think that's for both Burr and Chappelle.
Yeah, but see, you would be, and I think we can fairly say you're more on the left than I am, and that's not
according to Twitter. But go ahead.
Yeah, not for Twitter right now. I'm your equivalent or more to the left of you right now, because I came up with an idea that
you're the socialist. Go on.
That last Netflix special with Dave Chappelle. That got everybody. That last Dave Chappelle, the live show that got everybody like really riled up. Yeah. I watched it and it felt more like a fucking TED talk, to be honest with you.
It did. That's funny you say that, but it was like a funny TED talk.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how it felt when I was watching it. I was like, fucking right, yeah, right.
Well, I think that's kind of the trick to comedy is those people pick out the obvious and then talk about it. Like I was just speaking of which, if you haven't, Joe Rogan's got a new. Hold on a second, let me go to it real fast. I'll tell you the actual. Hopefully, it's the people who do trigonometry. It's a show that comes on. But anyway, it's Francis Foster and there ain't no way I'm gonna get that how to say that, but it's like Konstantin Kristen. But they're both guys, and they're both from England, and they host a podcast called Trigonometry. If you haven't listened to that show with Joe Rogan and those two, first of all, they're both very far left, people in England, but when they have this conversation, they actually sound a lot like what's his name, Bill Maher. Maher, is that his last name? Bill Maher. They sound a lot like him. Like they have like reasonable dialogue and conversation, and they have they talk about how hard it is to get into comedy because they're both comedians. How hard it is to get into comedy in England because they have one place that they go to be able to get into the like into movies or have shows or whatever. And the person that controls that, we'll call him the gatekeeper, has said that they want the wokest comedians. And it's like, and then Joe Rogan's like, well, how in the hell is that funny? I'm like, because you don't talk about anything at that point. Like their goal is to not have anything offensive. And I'm like, dude, I remember staying up and listening to, what was it, Eddie Murphy Raw back when I was a kid, and listening to it. And like I had to watch it when my parents, we had that big ass satellite, like we were like literally trying to talk to aliens in the yard. That was on. You
had one of those?
Yeah,
I've always seen them. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So like, it
Raw and Delirious as well. Delirious.
Yeah,
Delirious.
I think it was Raw. He wore like that Michael Jackson outfit.
The red leather job. Yeah.
So anyway, I remember staying up late and like it was on the Playboy channel, is where they first debuted it back in the day. Yes, and we got that because my dad's the one that bought the package for the satellite, so we absolutely had Playboy channel, I can assure you.
Yeah, I had to watch it with the squiggly lines.
I didn't have to do all that. That was one of the ones.
That was my childhood. Was Channel 95 with the.
But
that's a boob! I can see it.
I snuck out of my room, and I was probably 13, 14 years old. I don't even know if I was that old, but I remember sitting there watching it, and like he was offensive to everyone. Yeah. But that's what made it funny. Was that just brought up the if you can't make fun of the normal stereotypes of the world, then what the fuck's wrong with you? Like that's what's funny.
No holds barred. That's exactly what it is. It's no holds barred.
And I think that's the reason why Mel Brooks had such success with when you think about Spaceballs. Like if you think about Spaceballs, like when you see those two black guys combing the sand with that pig, that is hilarious.
Oh, such a good movie.
It is. Like all of it is, but they pick on everybody and you sit there and you go, why can't we have that? Like, so what if you're offended? Trust me, if you listen to 5.5 minutes of Dave Chappelle and you're a white guy, I can assure you he's made fun of you for 4.5 of it.
Absolutely.
And if you listen to Bill Burr, it's the exact same thing. I'm a white dude. He's a white dude. First 4.5 minutes of first 5 minutes of First 5 minutes of him listening to him, 4.5 of it is going to be him making fun of white folks. And you're like, wait a minute, we're on the same team here.
Have you guys ever seen any of the Ricky Gervais stand-up?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, that guy is hilarious too.
Yeah, I like Gervais.
Yeah, I do too. But he's the one that did the Grammys or one of those.
The Golden Globes.
He pisses off people pretty consistently on those.
He just does not give a fucking shit.
He doesn't give a cunt because that's his word. He loves to say cunt. Yeah. And that's the part that gets me is I don't understand where maybe this is a bourbon conversation because this would be something we would be having conversation about if we were all sitting around at a bar or sitting just together at a table or whatever.
Let's go.
Because of our age demographics, what the fuck happened to the world? Like, what really happened? And what I mean by that is like, I don't know if you can.
I don't know if I can answer this question without getting really political, but I can try and take a stab at it. I think what these comedians do is that they're poking fun at the idea that we have gotten really protective of our language and we over police our language out of fear of offending anyone, but we're not really changing our behavior. We're not really changing policy. We're not really changing society. That was Chappelle's whole point of, you can't do this and you can't say that. And we can't make fun of this group anymore. We can't make fun of that group anymore. We can't say these things, but we're still not treating people like they ought to be treated. and we're just making ourselves feel better about it because we've moved the over to the window from what we're allowed to say anymore, and that there really is a backlash because it smacks both sides in the face basically.
No, I don't disagree, but I think one of the things that ought to be brought up is that you could eliminate. Let's just say you set rules and boundaries for all of that. People are going to there's still going to be some people who are inherently evil or bad. They're going to say things, they're going to piss people off, or they're going to be racist or whatever, sexist, misogynistic, whatever it might be. All right. There's going to be those people. You're never going to eradicate those. It's like, I forget what the term.
It's happened for hundreds, maybe thousands of years.
No, it's happened since
as long as there've been people. As long as there've been tribes.
It's never gonna fucking change, as you say, dude. So carry on. Sorry.
So my point is to that is like growing up, and I think I've told you guys this story before, and I know I've told Mark this story, and David's heard it, I know for sure. But like I grew up in, where I grew up, my parents always took me down to play dominoes with my boys. All right. It's still one of my favorite things to do. Now, when I say play bones, there's very few people know what the hell I'm talking about there. And they're mostly not Caucasian. All right. And like, I wasn't brought up to think that, that certain groups of people were lesser of me or vice versa. Mm-hmm. That's just not the way I was brought up. I actually think, to be honest with you, anyone that's ever opened my eyes to that has been the freaking mainstream media. And you're looking at going, well, I don't hate that dude. Like, I think that's stupid. Yeah. Or some of the jokes that come up and go, oh, one black friend? Yeah, you're racist. Or whatever. Sure. It's like that's not true. What if I only have two friends and one of them's black? That's a 50%, thing, Like, so
that's part of the thing I grew up with.
If you don't have all the demographics or all the data points, you can't make a judgment, So speaking of which, you doing that? That's another one that would be canceled today. What was that movie called? With John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson.
Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
That would be canceled.
Tarantino?
Oh, Pulp Fiction. Oh God. Pulp Fiction is
well, when you did this number, I was
black, white, gay,
doing the
what is it? BDSM? Did I say it correctly? I don't even know if I said it right.
Oh, you said it right.
He's like, hold on a second. Let me check and see if I said it correctly. Okay, yeah, I did. Hey, look at his. He got to look at his search history. Hold on a second. That's it. Just like if you look at mine, I mean, it's dogs, guns, bourbon, midgets, naked midget girls, small people, not like small like kids, but like small people, like small women. Only because you could like spin those things around. That would just be fun.
Put down the shovel, man. It's okay.
Hey, Jody, when you get deep enough that you're looking for nugget porn, you need to stop.
Ho.
What's nugget porn?
Nugget porn?
I had a friend, a coworker years ago. I didn't know what nugget porn was either.
I feel like I'm gonna need a drink in my hand.
I'm gonna have to. Is it?
Let's not.
Hold on.
We'll say that for the after show. Remind me in the after show, and I'll explain it to you.
I'm curious though. Is it in the Urban Dictionary? Nugget.
Probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
With the butter churn. It's right next to the butter churn.
Yeah, I think it is.
It went straight to Oh, wait a minute. Amputee porn? That's not bad. Come on.
That's on the other side of the Eiffel
That's what they call
Tower.
them, nuggets.
But if you could get like one that had half the leg was going, you get in there deep.
I don't know what we're talking about. I'm not gonna look.
Don't knock it, guys. I'm not saying I'd watch that porn.
I
That's
said
not
we
really
take
my
that
thing.
to the after show, but
Well, I wanted to know. Maybe our viewers, both of them, wanted to know what that was.
So does that
I
contain?
have a comment, and I'm saving it till the after show.
Hey,
Okay,
Gino,
well, here's what we'll do.
barrel
We'll stop the show and we'll go straight to the after show. Guys, this has been fun, been real. I don't know if it's been real fun or not, but make sure you smash the like button, subscribe.
It's been fun for us.
I wouldn't turn on the notifications, but I'm telling you to, Wink, wink.
And,
Be
and
transparent.
think about us in this show the next time you go through the drive-thru and order chicken nuggets.
Yes.
Or if you ever look at somebody and you're like, what does that mean? You could think that means something else, but you could be like, that really means nugget.
That's entirely up yourselves.
Oh shit! I have no clue. I'm scared to look.
Okay. Peace out.
Two in the paint, one in the state.
Should I? Do you want me to? All right.
That's what
Ice cream.
Yeah, we still. Well, you can do it too. See you guys. See you next time.
Vanilla.